Okay, we're going to do a belt tension adjustment on Snazzy here. I have determined my belt is too loose and I want to tighten it up to the specs of 0.30 inches. Now, these are the tools that are going to be required before you can even start this procedure. You need some form of a little light that you can shine up underneath there while you're under there, and you're going to have to work in a tight place. I don't have a lift or anything, but you can do it on the ground, and I'm going to show you. But a small light would be helpful. You're going to need a T40 bit to take the cover loose, a flat tip screwdriver to pry out the push pin. You're going to need a lever to break the mounting bolts loose for the drive mounting, and it's going to take a little more extension on there to do it. So that's about how much you're going to need. And you just slide this on there and get it close, and I'll show you. But you're going to need that will slide over. 1/2 inch drive with a good extension like this. And you're going to need another small extension, 1/2 inch. An adapter if you only have a 3/8 drive. 18 millimeter you're going to need for the mounting bolts. Okay, and you're also going to need a 30 millimeter pivot nut bolt or socket to remove the tension from that lock nut. You're going to need a torque wrench that will go up to 195 pounds. This will go up to 300 pounds. So that's definitely going to do it. And plus, you're going to need some length to it. And this does a real good job. Only 45 bucks or something on Amazon. So there it is. You're going to need some gauge, and I selected one of these miter squares that has 1/16 of an inch measurements, and then I can block off the movement that I want, and it will sit up there like that, and it'll make it easy. You're going to need a belt tension gauge that you can put 10 pounds of pressure on it. That little O-ring represents the 10-pound mark. You push pressure on it until it just makes contact with the blue, and you'll have 10 pounds of pressure applied to the belt. And this is the range that I want the belt to move. Okay, once you have these tools, then you're ready to go. Now I'm going to tell you one thing right now. The bolts that hold this front pulley in place are very tight. They must have put them on with an impact wrench at the factory, and they don't have all of this in place, so I'm sure it was really easy. So I'm going to show you the technique that I had to use to get the leverage to get that top bolt. There's a top bolt and a bottom bolt that you have to get to, and I'm going to show them to you here in just a moment. You got to put some real pressure. Now I want to tell you ahead of time, think this out and don't hurt yourself by slipping with your wrench and really hurting your hands. So think it out very carefully, and I'm going to show you the way I did it using my knee against the rear wheel, and along with my hand I was able to put sufficient pressure on the wrench with the extension to break it loose. And that's going to be the hardest part about this whole job. Okay. Okay. This is adjusted right to the bottom, this first blue mark, and the top blue mark is for 5/16, which is about 0.31 inches. Now you're going to see that the bottom of this belt is going to go up higher than that, meaning I want to tighten the belt up. This belt is too loose right now. Just by feeling of it, I can tell. I don't even need a meter or a gauge to tell me it's too loose. Okay, so now I'm going to put my 10 pounds of pressure. Make sure the gauge is not cocked and is perpendicular or 90 degrees here. So I'm going to push up until I got the O-ring right up there, and you see I'm above my little mark. It should be actually right about there, and it's going up that far. See, it should be right there. So I've got to tighten this up until I meet that requirement. So that's what you're going to try and accomplish when you need your belt adjusted. We're going to take the pivot bolt as the last bolt. It's the easiest to get to. Now you do have to take the cover off here, and you have to take this bottom cover off. I have another video that will show how to remove those. Now this is the bolt that we're looking at. The bottom bolt is right there. There's a top bolt up there that I will have to get under to show you, but once you get your head under there, you will see this top bolt. It is the harder one to get to, and I will show you the technique to get that broken loose, okay? Or any kind of piece of wood or some material. And I put this 18 millimeter on there and get her in position. And right now I already have it broken loose, so let me just tighten her up a little bit so I got some resistance. To break it loose, use your torque wrench, and let me move back and you can see that a little better. Okay. The torque wrench will give you the adequate pressure to be able to break it loose. The little 1/2-inch ratchet, even with the extension, is very hard. So you're going to need a long extension and 1/2-inch drive here to do the job. Okay, there's the bolt right there, the top one that we got to get to, and then right here is the bottom one. Okay, I'm going to show you the top one right now and how you're going to have to try and break it loose. Okay, you put it in position like that. So make this short enough that you can get it up in there. It'd be nice if you had a lift, and the shops do. Okay, right there. Now I can let this all the way down, and then let me see if you can see what I'm going to do with my knee. Okay, this is hard to do to try and show you, but okay, I got my foot, my knee, or my foot is on the tire, and now my knee is up here along with my hand, and you're going to go back here, get your tension in there, and then you need to get this all the way down where you got, okay, like right about there. Now you put your knee up there along with your hand, and then you use your knee and your foot to pry like that. That's the only way I was able to get this loose, is with this extension and using my foot and my knee to pry this thing out. And eventually you can do it with both your pressing with your knee and your foot along with the pressure. But watch out, you got things here that if it breaks loose, your hand is really going to take a beating. So let me see. I think you can see most of what we're trying to show you there, right up there. That's what you got to do, and I'm showing you, you'll have to use your own techniques as best you can to break that loose. The bottom one, I just showed you how to do that. So now, getting it back on, I'm going to put as much pressure as I can put on this. You can't get a torque wrench in there, so I'm going to put as much pressure as I can. So now we're going to tighten this baby up. So I'll show you that. Okay, let me see if I can put this there. Loosening is just a matter of taking this big torque wrench with your 30mm socket and just putting the good pressure to it, and I guarantee you it'll break loose. Now we're going to have to put about 195 pounds of pressure back on this. That's why you need a torque wrench that will do it. It's very important for this this particular bolt to get that torque. Okay, and no guessing. All right, now we're going to make our adjustment, and that's done easily inside of from behind the back of the seat. There's a hole, and I'm going to show you, but first I'm going to show you where the bolt is that you're going to adjust. And that baby is, let me get, okay. Right there. And there's a hole right there that goes to the back behind the passenger seat, and that's how you stick a little short socket with an 18mm, and clockwise on that nut right there will tighten the belt. Counterclockwise loosens it. Mostly you're going to be tightening, so a quarter of a turn at a time, and then check the belt and keep doing that until you get the proper tension, and then we'll tighten this all back up. Oh, so that's it. Now I'm going to show you where you go with the tool. Okay. Okay, 18mm and a short socket and an adapter if you need it, and you can just line it up right through here till it reaches over that bolt. So after making a few quarter turns, I'm going to check the tension on the belt, and I'm going to get it to the point where I don't want to go over, so that's why you want to do slow amounts and not have to back up, okay? It'll be better. All right, let's go down and check it. Okay, I'm only going to go a couple of turns and see what it gives me. Matter of fact, I'm just going to do one just to be sure. I don't want to have to back up. This is tough. Guys, what I do for you, I don't know. This is a job. Okay. You just watch me. I'm going to tighten the daylights out of that. Now that's the top one, which is hard to get to. And now I can use my underneath here to push. And I can, okay, there, okay, she's good and tight. All right, so you see, and then this one I'm going to use my other well, actually, if I had an extension, I can do it here, and that's what I'm going to get. Okay, these bolts are 85 foot-pounds of torque, so I'm going to get that on this one at least. I can't get to the other one. Okay, here we go. We're going to listen for a click. Okay, it's there. All right, I'm happy with that. Now we got to put 195 foot-pounds of pressure on the pivot lock bolt. So let's do that right now. Okay.